Okay, but then is it grass fed? Is it non-GMO?
Yeah, really.
And sometimes that kind of makes me think. It's like, how is it halal? But then it's GMO'd up or
exactly,
you know what I'm
right?
saying?
Yeah,
Shot up with whatever.
yeah, with the different hormones and all that
Yeah,
type of
yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
so we're not as holistic in our practice of Islam as we should be. And because, like you mentioned, we're not passionate enough. Like I tell people all the time, if you're not passionate about something, it's not what you really want to do. It's just like a hobby. You have to be driven. You know what I'm saying? Not just motivated, but you have to be driven.
I feel like our elders were passionate, but like
Yeah.
our generation before, I don't know where that. I mean, yeah,
You know, like you said, that drive is not present,
Yeah,
unfortunately,
yeah.
at all. And we have to get back to that. What about you? How about your spiritual moment?
I think that mine kind of ties into the next question, to be honest.
Oh, can you tell me about a time that aspect of your identity?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So just let's just say it. Can you tell me about a time that aspects of your identity, such as ethnicity, culture, and gender, influenced your faith? Because you said it tied into the spiritual
So it
experience.
ties in with me because given where our community and the things that they did for and just because New York, as far as our Muslim community, kind of was like the precedence for a lot of other communities across America, and how they came into communities, cleaned them up from prostitutes, drug addicts, drug dealers, or whatever the case.
All types of vice.
It made it possible for it to be okay to practice Islam,
Right.
and opening kind of a gateway for where even I don't want to say foreigners, but other people.
Foreigners.
But anyway,
Not to be condescending, obviously, but yeah,
but,
just to
at
say
that
reality.
time it was foreigners. Now
Right.
you probably wouldn't call them foreigners because they might have grew up with us. But
Right.
at that time, foreigners, allowing them to be able to move over here and practice Islam freely and just go about their daily life. So to me, that just looking back and the relationship where a lot of these people, they either fathers to me, uncles, real close people in the community, just the fact that they're the people who did that is a really, what I'm saying? It's like, it's like synonymous with when you think of like the story of the prophet,
Right.
how they how he
Yeah.
purified that area
Right.
So, I kind of look at our elders kind of like Sahabas or something. And we would be like the Tabi'in or something.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So
for sure.
I kind of see a lot of like similarities. And when you study like the stories of the prophets or the what do you call it? The prophet's life or whatever. So I see a lot of similarities in how, growing up and what took place in our community. So that to me is really,
Right. I could say for myself, in terms of like identity or ethnicity or culture, I would say me learning more about my family history is something that really
Agreed.
influenced my
But
faith.
that's what I'm saying, because my family history is a part of that, what I just described.
Right.
So
Well,
it's
like I said,
you too, because
yeah.
even going back to like slavery, it's still really good for me.
Yeah.
But just because being that, as African American, where a lot of us don't really know where we came from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So as me, it's
Exactly.
like, all right, I might have African American, I may have African American, I might have Native American, or whatever the case may be, a little bit of Great Britain, Irish, or whatever. But what I just described is like I can actually. You know what I'm saying? It's not like documented, but it's like, all right, those stories
you
are
can
so
still
close
reach
to me.
it. You can
Because
still touch
the
it.
last generation told me about it.
Exactly, yeah. And
But I definitely just knowing, as far as like African American, how a lot of us were scientists or whatever the case may be, that definitely touches me too.
Right. Yeah. Like for me, like I recently found out, like within like the past 2 years, that my family in North Carolina were among hundreds, if not thousands, of African American families, people who were free even before the American Revolution. And I was able to prove this through DNA research, 23andMe, and I was also primarily able to prove this through the writings of one Paul Hoenig, who's an expert African American historian and genealogist. And I studied some articles that he wrote, which he did very extensive research about how African Americans in the North Carolina, Virginia, Delaware, and Maryland area were free people. And not only free people, many of these free people themselves were also slave owners. So even my understanding of what slavery was, particularly prior to the American Revolution, and
If you had it, then you was in.
Right. So I view slavery in a much different way, in a much different lens. It's like sometimes like I don't even know how to feel about slavery now, because my family was known to be free, and it was very probable that many of my ancestors probably were slave owners, and not just slave owners of other African peoples, but European peoples as well. Because prior to
But that's the
1660,
part current America tries to hide. Like, only we were slaves.
Historians are the best liars.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
know that.
yeah.
Yeah. So they always try to push that dominant narrative. I mean, even now you have schools, you have school books who are trying to say that African peoples were immigrants.
Yeah, yeah.
They migrated to the U.S., which is a complete fabrication.
Yeah, yeah.
But these are the things that are now being
Or
pushed.
then they try to make it seem like we were only slaves, and it's like, no, they were doctors, scientists, business owners, whatever, who became slaves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that duality is paramount and is is directly indicative of the white supremacy narrative.
Yeah.
So. But like you said, got 1 more minute. Okay. Last question. Have any of your major life decisions been affected by your faith?
Again, similar to, the question before, my answer for the question before, just, I guess that ties into my father, being who my father was, how he kind of helped the community, and how his business was like a port for converts, Muslims to get, Islamic clothing, Islamic books, gain Islamic knowledge or whatever.
Just in terms of being a businessman, like your father, in many respects, he was one of the most profound entrepreneur pioneers of the Muslim African American community, especially in New York City, all across the U.S., but especially in New York City.
Yeah. So me kind of just taking over the business is like carrying the torch, and then I don't know. It's hard to put into words, but it's like carrying the torch.
It's a heavy weight on your shoulders.
Yeah. So it's like, all right, I gotta make sure I kind of either match what he did or do better.
Right.
And it's like
and not regress.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like to be honest, I feel like there's not much to do because I feel like, like his friends, Kali Yassine, Bilal Phillips, Zay Shakir, all of these people, I feel like, the fact that they're still living and my father's still living, I really don't have to do that much. But I have to do my part.
Right.
So
I mean, either way, you still have relatively big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
because of what he was able to accomplish, respectively.
Well, he wear 10.5 or wear 10, so so I don't know.
I would say for me, I would say regardless to whether I made positive or negative decisions, I can honestly say that every single decision that I've made since I've been Muslim, since I was 15, has been predicated on my faith, regardless of whether it was a right decision or the wrong decision, regardless of whether it was a righteous action or a sin. Me being Muslim always played a part in my decision making because I knew full well the consequences and I knew full well the severity of what I was doing, whether it was positive or negative.
Yeah, but not even that. I feel like true Islam gives you a certain way of thinking.
Regardless of whether you do right or wrong.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Oh, wrap up
yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Anything else before we end?
No, that's basically it.
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.